Hello, friends, and welcome to another Death by Gaming in-house 5v5 Scrim. Another one of our many such games that we broadcast and bring to you live on YouTube. Well, not live, but recorded on YouTube. I, as always, am your host, Comrade Kilbasa. And in the booth with me here is Sky Puma, the omnipotent. How are you doing, Sky Puma?
I'm doing great today. How you doing?
I'm just dandy. We already have a Cassidon ban on the field, but let's talk about our two teams here. Heading up the blue side, the captain in Tectel, Pal Kush, Sirius Alpaca, Opico, and Mickle. And on the purple side, Multi, Solanum Outbreak, Super Puppy, Noitator, and Fishbones and Pow Pow. Good to see that both of Jinx's guns are in this game.
Yep. We have a lot of regulars in this game. A few wild cards, which would be Fishbones and Pow Pow and Super Puppy. We haven't seen them yet in our team play, but hopefully they pull out some nice plays.
Well, so far we've got the Cassidon ban. Cassidon, just the typical annoying Cassidon. Get rid of that guy. Shaco banned, as well as Fiddlesticks.
Yeah,
that's
Shaco
out of these
ban.
bans so far.
Yeah, that Shaco ban's definitely targeted at Mickle. He's been playing a lot of Shaco lately, and of course, with the new ward changes, he can be really overpowering in the early game if you don't lock him down.
Then, of course, the Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks, just a very annoying support. Of course, with more gold on supports now. Natural ban. And there's the Tarek and Shyvana both being taken out. Tarek, a longtime favorite of Intectel, along with his Leona. Shyvana, just a flavor of the month top laner. You see where this third ban goes for purple team. Multi, the man with the hand on the red button, he will take out Leona.
Once again, that's definitely a targeted ban in a Tectel. His two most played champs gone, and it's much easier to ban out a support than, let's say, a mid laner who can go to 4 or 5 different champions. You ban out a support, they have to go on something they're not quite as reliable on. So smart ban there by Multi.
Indeed it is, but Intectel, as we both know, has that pocket Zillion so fond of. Well, we have seen play a couple different things. He likes Stand in the Sea. See where he goes here. See where he goes.
And of course, he's just making us wait it out. You called it.
Well, let us. Well, I called half of it. He went to the sea. And
we'll give you that.
Until hopping over down to Nami. Yeah. Oh, thanks. I'm glad to see you're so understanding. I have my days. So now it's your move, Multi and Solanum Outbreak, two of our regulars here. Lucian picked up. Lucian, probably one of the strongest AD carries in LoL right now.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of Lucian lately. He's been trying to broaden up his pool.
A little bit. Usually it's Caitlyn or Varus in that bot lane. Good to see him adding a little spice to his life as Solanum Outbreak hovering over Lux. That will probably get locked in. Champion he's very comfortable on.
That looks like a support Lux.
Yeah, that is the exhaust. It will probably be support Lux. Multi Solanum Outbreak, they've been in bot lane together before. Previously, it's had some mixed results, but the last time they did this, they had a pretty good game. We're getting that massive comeback victory pulled on them as Kung Pao Kush and Sirius Alpaca going full aggression with Riven and Zed. Lots of damage coming out from this blue team so far.
Yeah, so far this looks like a straight dive team. Of course, the Nami ultimate, the tidal wave coming straight down in order to initiate the Riven and Zed just getting there and killing targets as fast as possible.
We have seen Zed falling out of sort of favor a little bit. The nerfs to assassins, changing them up some. He is still locked in every once in a while, but not quite the dominant ban force that he was at Worlds, let's say. And Riven's sort of the new flavor of wherever you can get her on the field. I watched today Jin Falcons on the replay of the OGN Winter Games, CJ Entus Frost versus Jin Falcons. Jin Falcons Game 2 pulled out the Jungle Riven, trying to just get Riven on the Rift.
I still remember that terrible week, Bjergsen causing everyone to go mid-riven. That was a rough solo queue week.
Oh, Faker. The things you do to us. Super Puppy and Noitator locking in Darius and Nasus. Noitator, of course. Nasus probably, I would put words in his mouth, but I would call it his favorite champion. It's
I
at least one of his most played here.
Definitely agree with you there.
The greed, and if he goes jungle here, he'll get to have his Q greed. He won't have to worry about an opposing champion harassing him. He can farm that Q as much as he wants. As Pico locking in Tristana, Mikal going with Trundle. Even though the jungle Gragas was open, it's been some time since I've seen his jungle Gragas. Those were good days. It's only like a week ago.
I do like the Trundle pick though. The pillar. There's the AoE slow, allows them to land a bubble, allows them to get in much quicker, and also allows them to block for, let's say, that Nasus or the Darius to try and get in there. The pillar just pops right up, makes them go all the way around, making Tristana feel a lot safer.
Indeed it does. Pico just going to get to just rapid fire away from the back lines. As Fishbones and Pow Pow do not lock in Jinx, they will go Orianna. Probably has something to do with her talking about getting another gun.
I'm not sure how I like Orianna for this comp, though. I mean, they have no one to really get in there quickly for the ball. I mean, yes, they can throw the ball, get it out there and lock it up, but they don't have a diver to, let's say, initiate it. However, the other team, they're going to look to throw a pillar into a tidal wave into a bubble, and then once that happens, Multi's dead.
Well, we'll have to see how these two comps come together. Our typical pick comp versus a heavy 5v5 comp, but what are we seeing here?
Well, right here, we definitely have on the purple side, they have a beefy front line with Nasus and Darius. Pretty much what they're going to try and do, they're going to try and tank all the damage possible and make blue team afraid to go in. If Salon Outbreak can pick up some kills in bot lane and switch to a more AP heavy Lux, he was going to be able to definitely outdamage in Tactile. And with that, they're going to feel a lot safer. However, on the blue side, they have a lot of potential, pretty much single target, pretty much annihilation, with lack of a better word. And the Nami brings a lot of mobility and safety with her ultimate.
Nami, a very versatile support. Well, there's our team analysis for you. We're about to head into our second minute of spectator delay here, so I'm going to take a break, play some tunes, and we'll be back as we enter the Rift. And welcome back onto the Rift. Here we are coming in, observing the two teams as we make our moves into this game. My loading screen was a bit slow. I was afraid it might have been giving me a run for my money. I'm glad I didn't miss anything, so here we go. Mikkel, sad they didn't let him play Shaco. I may have spoken too soon, but I want to say that in a rare feat, both teams have all managed to buy trinkets.
Nope, or don't speak too soon. Oriana has not picked up anything yet.
Fishbones needs to get his act together and get on the trinket train. 2 sweeping trinkets picked up by purple team. Only 1 on blue team. Mikkel opting for the scrying orb. Well, we're seeing some late pickups. Intectail a little bit behind everybody else, as is Fishbones. Also opting for a sweeping trinket. Lots of vision control being looked for in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I like about that. They don't need that many trinkets on the team unless they're going for heavy invading control. The wards would definitely benefit them a lot more in that bot lane.
Oh. As far as heavy invade control, we're not seeing a whole lot of heavy anything, although we may have a showdown over here. Fishbones getting very close. Sirius Alpaca and him are going to have a bit of a cold war. Ping goes down onto Fishbones. But we got 4 blue players in the bottom side jungle. Oh, and Alpaca's found the Pow Pow. He's going to go in, and he's got broken wings. He's doing a lot of damage, and Fishbones and Pow Pow in danger, and he's probably going to go down. Ignite versus Health Pot. Who will win? Oh, the Health Potion wins. Fishbones and Pow Pow barely getting out with his life, but there's a flash and more broken wings and some broken dreams of getting out of there. First blood over to Sirius Alpaca. Infinite sadness on the part of Fishbones and Pow Pow, who's going to miss out probably a wave of CS here.
Yeah, that's going to put him
A little
definitely
bit of an
behind him
exchange going on in bot lane. A little bit of an exchange going on in bot lane, but not too much out of the ordinary. We've got Nasus picking up his blue, Neutator, picking up his blue. Trundle started red, going to blue. May try to meet Neutator at that blue buff. Does favor good counter junglers. We'll see what he does there. OPco just picking up creeps. Trying to see if he can out-duel bot lane his good friend Multi. As Solanum Outbreak throwing out the snares, and here comes Mikkel in for a gank onto Super Puppy. Super Puppy got a flash, and that Doge is on the run. I failed to point out earlier, purple team does have 2 Dogs, which should work in their favor, possibly.
We can all hope. We can all hope.
We can all hope. We can all hope as OPco eats a snare. He eats a yeah, I forget the he eats a Lux E as well.
Luminosity.
And Luminosity. He eats a Luminosity. That's what it was. And he will walk away as King Kush going in with Mikkel onto Fishbones and Pow Pow, but Fishbones and Pow Pow, they said, we've had enough of dying. I think we'll just exfiltrate. Takes the ball, and Intectail eating the snare and the Luminosity this time, as well as the shining cross beam from Lucian. I gotta stop making up skill names. I'm not good. This is Riot is.
Riot would definitely not appreciate that. They work hard on it.
They probably wouldn't. It's probably copyright infringement in some capacity. They do indeed. They do indeed. We love you, Riot. We love the work you do. Multi taken very low. Solanum Outbreak taken very low. And here comes Mikkel. He's looming for the dive. The bubble goes down onto Multi, and he just gets, clubbed like a baby seal. And that was probably a joke in poor taste, but what it looked like.
How I feel about that one.
Oh, there goes the pull. The Ignite down onto Sirius Alpaca. He's got 3 bleed stacks on himself, and this could be bad news for him. But Darius, well-renowned as possibly one of the most immobile champions in the league, not going to be able to catch up to Riven there, and Alpaca will back.
that's the most frustrating thing about laning against a Riven. Just the quick shields that she keeps getting and the mobility on her just to get away with nothing. It always seems like when you lane against a Riven, she just escapes with nothing every time.
Well, looking at the CS numbers, they're very much in favor of... Oh, but I thought that... Oh, here goes a flash, and Tectel taken very low. And he is going to get out there. Opiko running interference. Lobbing some of those Tristana cannonballs at the opposing bot lane, keeping him away from his fishy-wishy. As looks like there's some nonsense going down in River, but Kush isn't going to come down. It will just be Mikkel making his way down towards this bot lane, and this could be a gank, but he's spied out by a ward. Solanum Outbreak eats the bubble, and Tectel is taken very low. Opiko exhausted, but they get Solanum Outbreak. That kill goes over to Mikkel, and Opiko picks up the second one onto Multi, who went in so hard after.
That's a beautiful play, especially on Tectel's part. That bubble was perfect, landing right there on Solanum Outbreak. He knew the flash was down from the last time he landed the bubble, so that was a very well-placed pillar as well, blocking them out, slowing them right as soon as the bubble CC ended.
Well, Fort Pot picked up onto Darius here. Super Puppy looking for that little bit of extra attack damage versus a Riven who now has a second longsword. And, ooh, that axe damage is, quite frankly, ridiculous as a fight goes down in mid lane, and Fishbones and Pow Pow just, well, devour this Zed. Shine some light on the mid lane matchup here as the Shadow Man goes down. And
well, that matchup was all about CS. Fishbones and Pow Pow managed to hit level 6 just before Kung Pao Kish.
Oh.
And here we go, though. Riven's coming in from the top lane.
Serious Alpaca wants to get Pow Pow again, ignites him. He's going to dash in for it. He's trying to kill him. A flash goes down. Broken Wings, he just got tower baited. And Pow Pow and Fishbones will pick up a response kill there. So now there he sits at... I keep calling them two people, even though it's one user. It's
very confusing name.
The guns just have such animated personalities. It's like they're their own people. But he's now 2-2, so despite that bumpy start, he's in a reasonable spot here. Noitator going to hold this mid lane versus Kung Pao. And overall, Darius already hitting this top tower. He does have a 20 CS lead, which is equivalent to the lead that Opiko has over Multi right now. So a little bit swingy in the CS numbers. Otherwise, it's pretty equal across the board.
Yeah, except for the problem though, Opiko is going to scale much harder than Super Puppy will. Even with the true damage Darius does, he's not going to be able to scale with a late game Tristana.
That is true. Tristana, the queen of a late game, and Multi dodging the bubble, putting some damage back, but Opiko is just... He's hitting pretty hard right now. He has a Bilgewater Cutlass.
Not to mention...
And Fishbones and Pep... Oh, sorry.
You got some fighting going on here.
We got some fighting on here as Super Puppy gets, alpaca'd. And that's Riven doing that Riven thing.
It does help she picked up
getting you to a one-on-one.
And first blood.
This is true, and here's another dive onto this bottom lane. Mikkel coming down with Intectil. Opiko is eating the tower aggro. Multi very low, and he will get picked up by Opiko. Intectil picks up Solanum Outbreak, and Noitator shows up just in time to pick up Mikkel as he just sort of, sits there and dogs under the tower here.
They are being relentless to this bot lane. They are not giving them any room to come back whatsoever. They crush them hard early, and they want to keep them down.
Well, normally we talk about how you'd want to focus down a Tristana because of the way she can carry into late game. It looks like this time they're focusing down the Lucian to keep Tristana from getting focused.
Yeah.
Very interesting bot lane dynamic as Fishbones and Pow Pow push Kung Pao Kush up onto his tower. And that almost rhymed. It was sort of rhymey.
A little bit. Not sure I like the triple longsword start on Kung Pao Kush.
Oh, we're going to have to see where he goes with that as he ults in onto Fishbones and Pow Pow dodges the shockwave. What a move. Got the juke shoes on, and Mikko wants to dive. Flash forward from Kush, and he's isolated under the tower. He will go down. Fishbones and Pow Pow both picking up a kill there. Sadly, it only goes to one champion. That would be Oriana.
You're confusing me there for a second. Keep thinking you're calling out two champions.
I confuse myself every day. Every day I get more confused. And Mikkel going to sit here and try to hold this mid lane. Looks like he may try to do more than hold it, and he picks up a kill onto Fishbones. Noitator, the greed. Oh, he will back off. He will back off. He decides he doesn't want anything to do with Mikkel under tower, regardless of the fact that Mikkel only has about 70 health left.
Yeah, he's completely out of mana, though. He doesn't even have. He barely has mana for Q.
Still a heads-up play from the troll as Kung Pao Kush comes back, and here comes the damage, but Noitator just going to farm his Q, as we know he likes to do, but Kung Pao Kush makes him pay. 3 stacks, and that will be the end of that nonsense, I suppose.
Well, hopefully now that Zed has this blue buff, he can increase energy regeneration. Might help him come back in this lane against Fishbones and Pow Pow.
Indeed, that might be the case. Well, Sirius Alpaca going in onto Super Puppy, Ignite being thrown down. Alpaca really wants this. He ults for it. There's the Wind Slash, but not quite enough damage to bring down the X-Man as Opiko eats a snare and a Luminosity. That's a lot of damage from the Ardent Blaze as well. But Opiko and Intectel feeling pretty comfortable in this bot lane right now. Their team is up 2,000 gold. They're up kills. This is a nice spot for blue team to be in. Oh, Opiko!
That
what
was
a play.
painful.
Ooh, that was serious business. The Tristana damage, and here comes the ult into Fishbones and Pow Pow. Mikkel trying to do something more, trying to get this kill. He wants to shut down this Clockwork Orange, and she will go down. Shockwave used. Oh no, it wasn't. It just started the animation.
It didn't go quite off yet. Seems like a bit of
they
miscommunication there, though.
A little bit of miscommunication, but Mikkel, not a guy who minds diving towers, and certainly doesn't mind taking dragons, as we can see here. His teams always have such good objective control when he's in the jungle. They're getting started early here.
And he's making
more
good
gold
use
over
of
to
his
blue
gold.
team.
He's turning it into a Triforce, which I like on Trundle. It's going to allow him to duel very effectively. Especially with his innate tankiness from his ultimate, he can let Noitator build tanky and then take it from him and do a ton of damage.
Ton of damage. You just had to throw that in there,
I
didn't
did.
you?
He's building a Triforce.
Couldn't resist.
I have to.
He's building a Triforce. It had to be said. Had to be said. Brutalizer done on Sirius Alpaca, and that is going to be against just the single chain vest as Shockwave goes down onto Kung Pao Kush along with an Ignite, but that will be almost meaningless as Sirius Alpaca now going in on Super Puppy. Everyone is fighting. I have to speak fast here. Flash coming down from Alpaca, and there's the Wind Slash, and down will go Super Puppy. Not so super now, are you, dog?
No. Didn't quite work last time, but this time he finally got it.
Well, Paka's now 4-1. That's a very scary Riven. He's got cooldown boots, a Brutalizer, and the Vampiric Scepter to go with his longsword.
Yeah, he's definitely building that into a Hydra. He's going to be able to split push very effectively with that.
Hydra for extra power for your face, and blue buff going over to Fishbones and Pow Pow, who's really the Pow Pow on this purple team right now at 3 kills, 4 deaths though, so a little bit of a mixed bag there, but he's sitting there with a Seeker's Arm Guard and a Tear of the Goddess. Bit of a throwback Oriana build. As, oh my goodness, double trouble, no bubble, and Intectel just getting chunked, and there goes the final spark to pick him up.
See, this is exactly what they need.
As a 3-man gank popped up.
It's exactly what they need on purple team. Right, here we go.
Oh,
Ultimate
and
coming.
here comes all the damage. So much damage on the Fishbones and Pow Pow, and, well, maybe Jinx does need a new gun.
Just as I was talking about, this is exactly what purple needs to come back. They need to make these picks up off the over-aggression of blue team because they were so far ahead. These dives that they're going to try and make, that happens.
Well, Solanum outbreak very low. Opiko going in for the kill. He will pick it up. Multi is now the Lone Ranger, and, well, Lone Rangers don't do too well. With Tonto down, he just didn't have enough damage, and he will fall. This makes Opiko 4-0-4. Just gonna throw that out there.
This game is definitely snowballed out of control for Purple Team. And the sad thing, they can't even hold out till late game because they don't have people that would scale quite as well as Blue Team. They're not going to scale as well as a Zed who can get in there. Of course, Riven all stages throughout the game is very scary. And a Tristana, of course, to round it out.
Well, we did get to see Sirius Alpaca get popped like a ripe watermelon there in mid lane, as we have a bit of an awkward encounter here in the mid lane. Noitator caught out and chunked by Opiko. Flashes over the wall. There's Fishbones and Pow Pow there. This is a 3-on-3. Final Spark goes down to pick up Trundle. And this is a 1-for-1 so far, but it's a 2 versus 3 now, and Tectel is in deep doo-doo. And that is doo-doo he cannot climb out of. As Opiko trying to back in this bush, they're looking for him. They're searching. It can't get him. Oh, they cannot.
It did not stop
Multi firing the Wonder Auto attack after Opiko into his base, but Opiko, the wee Yordle, the wee Megling Gunner will survive. Will live to fight another day.
But this is exactly the type of thing they need to get back to this. They need that over-aggression by Blue Team. Blue Team came all the way up into the middle of their jungle with no sight on anyone on the team to pick up a kill on Nasus. And Nasus, he was 1-1 at that point. He's not that fed. He's not having that much of an impact. They didn't need to do that. They're just being over-aggressive, and that could cost them the game if they keep doing it over and over.
Well, for now, they've got aggression to spare. They've got a 5,000 gold lead, and they will see Mikkel making his way towards this bottom lane. A snare landing along with a luminosity from Solanum Outbreak as Moldy tries to get out of dodge. Moldy. He's very clean, I swear. Multi. And Mikkel trying to counter jungle, but Noitator is here, and this could turn into another 3v3 as Noitator smites the white away. And there's a serious scrap here on bot lane. Opiko picks up Solanum Outbreak. Multi taken very low. This Tristana gets a double kill and is just rampaging through the opposing team. Noitator taken low now. He will pop Fury of the Sands. He borked, and there's just too much damage coming out from Opiko right now.
That's what I was talking about with Trundle. The ability on his ultimate is to pop and steal all of Nasus' tankiness, pretty much. And that makes it much easier to dive and pop.
It's true. HP doesn't do too much for you, but your opponent does percent damage. And this is a 7-0-5 Tristana, who's up 80 CS on her opponent. Oh my goodness. They're proxy farming the mid lane with 3 players. That's a new one as Sirius Alpaca goes in onto the Puppy, but there's a whole purple team here. They could turn this around. Super Puppy now the man caught out. He will get Zed ulted. Shockwave goes down. Kush taken very low. Final Spark. And that will just be an extremely inconclusive engagement, and everyone will back off.
See, the scary thing is, even though Purple Team's down this much gold, they are still exchanging very well. And that's due to Orianna. Orianna has a lot of power built into her kit right now. She has that Roa ticking. And once she gets her core items up, she's going to be able to actually hold very well and clear these waves.
Wasn't that a fairly late Rod of Ages, I think? That was the 3rd item she started, I believe. She already had Seeker's Arm Guard and Tear of the Goddess. But once it starts ticking, I mean, they're clearly going for the late game now. They need the game to last till probably about 26 minutes before she gets her full stats out of that item. So we'll see how long they can prolong this game. Black Cleaver onto Riven now versus the Sunfire Cape of Darius. But Lucidity Boots, lots of cooldown reduction on this Riven. And the Trinity Force, Swifty Boots for Mikkel, and he's going to swiftly chase after Noitator, who flashes the Pillar of Filth, which is actually just made of ice.
I think they changed it now. I think it's Pillar of Ice
get
now.
out of dodge. Now it's Pillar of Ice?
I believe so.
Man, I would have been so much better casting Season 3. Or even Season 2 as Multi gets Zedded and, well, goodbye, friend, and Cuckoo Kachu Mrs. Robinson, but Multi is done. And Opiko on Nasus, this is very bad. They are trapped, and the Shockwave only hits Kung Pao Kush. Super Puppy very low. Opiko up towards the front of the line. Mickle diving like a monster. They're just doing so much damage, but Pow Pow picks up the kill. Taken very low, killed by Opiko, who's now just going to try and kite. Final spark misses from Solanum Outbreak. Out comes the shield. They're chasing. They've got an Intectel, a Kung Pao Kush, and an Opiko. They eat a bubble, and oh no, Opiko may try to turn this around. Cleanses the Wither, doing so much damage. Down goes Noitator. What a play by Opiko. As Multi now joining the fray. This is... Oh, he's culling the weak. He is culling them. He is culling them all. But can he survive the Kung Pao Kush? It might just be too
Kush
good.
Is just waiting on cooldowns now, and there it goes.
Oh. There's the last kill. That was an action-packed, probably about a minute and a half or so, and we have a bit of an awkward standoff here. as Darius goes to pull some grass.
That's a swing and a miss.
They just sort of stood there for a hot minute and they stared at each other. They knew where each other were. They weren't quite sure whether they wanted to do something about it, and that was that. But
Multi finally picking up his Triforce.
Man, break down that fight.
Pretty much that fight started off with Super Puppy coming in to engage. He thought he didn't have vision on anyone else, and it was a poor engagement, what I think. But actually, here we go. Mickle's coming in on Noitator. They're fighting over this big Wraith.
This could be serious business, but Noitator getting 3. Trying to see who can get it down and smite it first. Mickle
Pillar of
is
Ice
the same level as Noitator. So. Bit of an awkward standoff. I think that Wraith is still there. Oh no, it was smited away by Mickle. So... Disengage coming from blue team. Opiko picking up his red buff. And he has died now, but by dying, he allowed himself to quickly go back to base and grab an Infinity Edge and most of the components for Last Whisper.
Well, he had the IE in that last fight. That was allowing him to do so much damage in nearly 3-shot Orianna.
Oh, he did. That's unfortunate then. I've been proved a fool as Super Puppy almost goes down. Noitator now trying to take on the serious Alpaca. This Alpaca means business, though, and Noitator being taken very low. He may not be able to get out. Oh, he's so low. Has to pop Fury of the Sands to get out with his life, but now Solanum Outbreak is here, as is Multi. But serious Alpaca on full health, and he's just going to give him a run for their money. They don't know what to do, and 3 members will push down onto this mid tower as Shockwave comes out from Fishbones and Pow Pow, but he gets popped by the death mark, and they don't even get Riven. Multi's still chasing, and Alpaca very, very low. But this could be a second tower.
Now it looks like what it's going to be. They have no way to
I
push
would have
them back
to call
right
that
now.
a inhibitor tower. Ooh, lots of damage coming out from the Darius there as Super Puppy just decapitates poor Mickle, and then Solanum Outbreak finishes him off.
I mean, Mickle really didn't build any tanky items till just now when he went back and picked up that giant spell. He even picked up a Spirit of the Outer Lizard, I believe, to do true damage on his auto attacks. He's just looking for straight damage.
And quite a bit of damage he did do. So, but you have to question the decision coming out from purple team, going up and spending so many people going after Riven, and then losing 2 towers in mid lane. Just
yeah, that was a very poor play by them.
Ooh. Alpaca getting caught, getting final sparked, but it just wasn't final enough, and Opiko gonna eject some people from his lane here, and Mickle just gonna dive into the enemy team. He is a monster, but suddenly he realizes this is 1v5, and that's probably not the best use of his time, as Opiko getting taken very low. Snare just misses. Out comes the bubble from Intectel. It hits nobody. Intectel very low. He will go down. Farmed by Noitator as a Deathmark goes down onto Darius, but doesn't quite kill him. Now the Riven is here, and Sirius Alpaca is cleaning the house. It's spring Cleaning time, quadra kill for Sirius Alpaca, penta kill over to Sirius Alpaca. What a play! Goes up like the Air Force, late, kills everything.
Ooh.
Now they're just gonna push down mid lane.
I feel like that could be game right now. Even though their death timers are not that long, it's definitely gonna be this inhibitor, maybe a Nexus tower.
Well, they certainly have the pushing power, so much attack damage coming out from blue team. It's nice to have a balanced team comp, but the one thing you have to note is when you have a lot of AD, you certainly do. Towers do not build more armor over the course of the game. Let's put it that way. So they will get a second tower off of this, and really making some big plays here across the map in the objective game.
That fight
Kush
nearly went in the favor of purple team too. They were very close to turning that around. But here we go. They caught Sirius Alpaca trying to back.
He's in a deep there, and multi will just blaze him, and that will be a kill over to Multi, who's not having the best day. He has his Trinity Force, but that's only one item, and he's down. I mean, you look across the way at Opico. Opico has an Infinity Edge, a King, and a Last Whisper now, so Multi needs to find a way to get back into this game, but it may be too late.
Multi is sitting on 1,500 gold, which he could turn into a BF sword. But still, he's very behind.
And that Dragon going over to blue team won't help. Remember, Dragon Gold now scales with the levels of the players and the game time elapsed, and Fishbones and Pow Pow caught up here. Death marked and then clubbed to death by Mikkel, who is looking a bit larger than normal. I believe that's a Trundle ultimate coming out. And here comes the wave from Intectel, and this is going to be a fight under tower. Multi trying to cull the opposition. He picks up Mikkel, trying to take on Opico. Final spark comes out. Intectel going to eat a snare. That's a double kill over to Multi. Now he's 6-8. Things are looking better and better for this young man.
It may look better and better, but he is still down almost ADCS to his lane counterpart.
That is indeed true. Opico doing a very good job of keeping his farm up, maintaining his status as the top dog in this late game. Here as the kill score 32-7, the gold gap 12,000 in favor of the blue team. I mean, we saw a fantastic comeback last week. I don't know if we'll be seeing something like that this time around.
I feel like they're too far ahead at this point. Especially, they don't have the same team comp they did last week. With that comeback last time, the late game champions were on the other team.
This is true. Fishbones and Pawpaw getting jumped on by Opico, who has to flash away. He's very low, and he will go down. Bones and Pawpaw picking him up, but Sirius Alpaca is here. The Penta Man picked up both of Jinx's guns and then decided that these are trash and threw them away. But he will get pulled into the enemy team and is just getting evaporated. He goes down. Kung Pao Kush and Mikkel now into the mix. Super Puppy taken very low. Mikkel diving this Doge. But he's being chased by another Doge and a Lady of Light. And Mikkel just in... I want to say he's in trouble. He's tanking tower, and he will just back off. He's so tanky right now.
Very nice Fury that stands there by Noritator, though, saving his life.
Well, self-preservation instincts, we all know how they work. Oh, goodness, I'm low. Better press R, and Mikkel finds Multi, and we'll decide he doesn't want to fight Multi, but Multi going to try and kill him, and he will. Multi now unstoppable. Hasn't died in quite some time, but Intectel, could he play the spoiler? Could he play the spoiler? Here comes the win! Oh. He goes down! The shutdown gold over on to Intectel. Well, he's been quiet this game, but that was a good play.
Just when Multi was just clawing his way back up to being positive, Intectel shows up and says no.
Well... Intectel, as we know, always a player who likes to talk a little bit of trash when he can get in there, but he's not saying too much right now. Probably busy coordinating his team.
Definitely the shot caller on that team.
Let's look up. Absolutely. As we look over, Tristana now has the Quicksilver Slash plus cleanse. That means a lot of the CC, well, the Wither and the Snare are going to be basically irrelevant. on Tristana now. Look at the items on Riven, though. Oh, sorry, as Fishbones and Pow Pow get jumped on. Good shockwave taking Kung Pao Kush out of the mix, but Mikkel now fighting the world with Opiko at his side. His trusty Yordle just shooting and shooting and shooting and just hammering away at this team from the back line. So much damage coming out. Multi goes down. He seems to be the cursed man as Super Puppy comes into the opposing team, and he's now in deep trouble, but he's got a lot of tankiness. Randuin's Omen and Sunfire Cape going to try and go after Opiko, but will not. He will go down to Opiko as Sirius Alpaca picks up the kill onto Fishbones and now goes after Noitator again. He will pick him up and get out with his life. But Final Spark, oh, the shield! What a play. Solanum Outbreak now getting dived by Opiko in base, and Opiko going to get culled by Multi.
So depressing when you die to the culling.
I think the culling gets a bad rep. I like it. It's it's entertaining and multi. That was the wave of doom, the tsunami into the purple team base, as it were. But Intectel will go down. But the kill onto Multi going over to Kung Pao Kush. 2 Bloodthirsters now on this Riven. I think we may have hit that point in the game where it's double Bloodthirster Riven, but just the items coming out from blue team right now, so much armor penetration. They have 2 Black Cleavers and 3 Last Whispers right now.
Yeah, that's what they have to do when they have an all-AD team like that. They have to build armor pen, or else the other team's just going to be able to build armor. But here we go. Fishbone and Powerhouse caught out.
Zanya's Hourglass coming in for Fishbones and Pow Pow. Shockwave! What a shockwave! They could turn this low. He gets out, but the kill on Trundle goes over to Noitator. Sirius Alpaca now running for his life. We know Rivens are slippery, but can he get away from the Doge and the Light Lady? He cannot. He gets farmed. And that, I believe, is probably one of the most embarrassing things to have happen to you, is to be farmed by Nasus. And Intectel going to use Talisman of Ascension and the Tidal Wave and flee, head for the hills. As Opiko comes up and he finds Super Puppy. Opiko may have AFK'd into Super Puppy here. He cleanses. That was his Quicksilver Sash, and now he will re-engage onto Super Puppy. Has this man very low. And Tristana range so strong, and just Kung Pao Kush comes in and cleans up that kill. That was a lot of cuss sounds.
Yeah.
One sentence.
Even though they lost this fight at Baron, they're still going to do it because Purple Team's base is just being completely wrecked by now by super minions. They all had to go back to clear those out.
That is the advantage of taking out some inhibitors, and Kung Pao Kush and Opiko do so much damage that they can easily take this with Nami heal, and now Mikkel's here, so now they have a tank, and Purple Team showed up a little bit too late. 2 guys caught in a bubble. Multi getting jumped on by Kung Pao Kush. He dodges out of the death mark and culls. Oh, he can't pick him up. Opiko eating the final spark. It just says, no sir. Guns down those 2 members of Purple Team mercilessly. Fishbones and Pow Pow now caught out now, as is Noitator. Fishbones getting just devoured by Mikkel. This troll will not leave him alone. That's a kill over to Mikkel. And now Opiko chasing Noitator, sitting there doing too much damage. And the auto attack heard around the world will follow Noitator to his doom, and the surrender votes coming out from Purple Team. The GGs coming out from Blue Team. And that will be our game. Bit of a lopsided victory for Blue side today. But I don't know. What do you take away from this game, Guy Puma?
Pretty much, I feel like this is clearly just Blue Team taking their time. They could have ended this game 20 minutes ago if they wanted to. They didn't push as a team. They almost allowed Purple Team to come back a little bit, but they were just too far ahead in the end.
Well, certainly that Tristana and Opiko came up, but our MVP for this game is Sirius Alpaca, the man of 1,000 pentas, as he picked up that huge cleanup pentakill in the mid-game. Well, in the mid-lane, it was sort of the mid-late game. And also for being the double Bloodthirster player of the game.
I believe that's double Bloodthirster player of the week, actually.
Oh, it is Double Blood. I apologize. Double Bloodthirster Player of the Week. The appropriate announcement will be made on the Death by Gaming Facebook page, which you can like. Go to facebook.com/deathbygaming. And that's going to be it for this scrim. So we will hopefully get you another one out soon. And looking forward to casting for you guys again. I am Comrade Kilbasa. This is my partner in crime, Sky Puma. Say goodbye, Sky Puma.
Goodbye, guys.
Take it easy. Stay classy, lol.